there is so much intensity and sort of like an overriding that happens in our modern day world. This overriding happens in so many different areas. We've talked on this podcast about hyper palatable foods. These are foods that are specifically manufactured to taste incredibly pleasurable and to really stimulate the reward center of the brain. And these foods override our biology. They override our brain and how it responds to food. Social media, television, these like fast-paced entertainment sources really stimulate our brains, and they can override our emotions. Like if we're feeling sad and we start watching all these short little reels on Instagram, it can give you that reward, that pleasure in the short term, but then leave us feeling more disconnected afterwards. Our lives tend to be so fast-paced and so over-reliant on productivity, where we're rushing from one thing to the next. We can end up being so busy that we don't really have downtime. We don't have stillness where, you're just sitting on the front porch and just letting your thoughts flow, or just looking around. Like, more and more, we make less and less time just to be still. And all of this can slowly build this disconnection between our mind and our body. And that disconnect can be really unconsciously disorienting and can really distance us from our human experience, from our feeling of individuation, from our feeling of being this like true full person. I had this beautiful conversation with somebody recently, and what she said really captures all of this in such a true and real way. She said, the natural world is so slow, and I find it really difficult to force myself to match that pace, to match that slowness. And it really is so true on so many different levels. If you look at nature, it can accomplish some incredible feats. Think about the Grand Canyon forming, but it's at such a slow pace that you might not even realize that anything is happening at all. And this is very true of all holistic health techniques, of natural medicine at its core. If we look at herbal remedies and then we compare them to pharmaceuticals has fast action. It gives a sense of control. You can change the dosing and it causes a very specific reaction in the body. And there's a time and a place for that. But if you compare that with an herbal remedy, there's so many bioactive compounds at play. There's so much that happens, this communication between your human body and the plant compounds, that slowly creates impact in our physiology and in our lives. Herbal remedies, holistic health, so much slower, yet it can create long-term health and wellness in a way that the fast pace of pharmaceuticals and the fast pace of modern medicine can rarely replicate. It takes longer to really sit with a problem and to find the root cause, to sit with a topic or a metabolic issue and to really think like, what one long-term change would create the most healing in this area? That's a lot slower. But if you can make time for it, if you can really bring it into your day-to-day life, the transformation that you're going to see long-term is like the Grand Canyon slowly forming. It's the small intentional shifts, the small intentional choices that we make that can really create this long-term impact. And when I think about herbalism, so much of the magic, so much of the medicine comes when you think about it more as a practice. It's not a product. It's not a pharmaceutical drug. It is a practice. Brewing a cup of tea, sitting down and smelling the tea, tasting the tea, it forces this slowness. It's really a ritual. that allows you to create more of that stillness and allow the mind-body connection to unfold, allow the relationship between the plants that you're consuming and your body to be able to act. If you can bring herbalism into your life as like a full intentional practice, the results that you get from it are so much stronger. If you listen to some very popular, well-respected herbalists, they will tell you that the deeper your connection with the plant, the stronger the medicine becomes. And it really is true, because you're sitting with that medicine and you're really inviting it to do its work. You can think about it really objectively in terms of like the placebo effect. The placebo effect outperforms so many drugs, so many like well thought out strategic wellness protocols, because it's bringing the mind-body connection into the equation. It's that belief that what you are doing is healing you. And if you can bring that mindset into your health practices, you are going to just intensify all the results you get. So herbal tea, natural medicine, holistic health, the more that we can bring stillness, the more we can welcome it into our lives, into our being, and just bring as much intention as possible, it really changes the game, because we're combining the power of the medicinal compounds within that plant, or the science and physiology of the practice, with the power of our mind and our mindset, what we see being harnessed in the placebo effect. And as a result, we're bringing more mind-body connection into our lives. The more that I talk to women about their life, their well-being concerns, the more I see mind-body connection and lack of fulfillment as core problems that are manifesting in so many different ways in their lives. And truly, when I am working with clients one-on-one, I have a secret mission. And my secret mission is, with every single call, to help them bring more self-trust and more connection to the practices that they're building. It's not just knowledge. Knowledge can feel so powerful because it gives you a sense of control over the world, but it only takes us so far. It's when we can build our own mind-body connection and our connection to the choices that we're making, when we can bring them into ourselves, make them part of our identity, that creates these drastic mindset shifts where you're no longer performing this checklist, performing this lifestyle, and doing, all the right things, but not seeing the benefit. We're bringing the soul back into it. We're bringing the connection. We're bringing the intention. And that is truly the power of herbalism and holistic wellness, is combining the science and the spirituality. Taking the knowledge and the research, but then slowing it down, creating that room for stillness where we can apply that practical information back into our lives in such an embodied and intentional way. This is why mind-body practices like meditation and Tai Chi and yoga have been around for so long, because they epitomize this. There is legit research that shows so much benefit, physiological, very sciencey benefit to these practices. But what science doesn't show is that it brings the mind-body connection, that it brings spirituality and connection and intention and ritual back into people's lives. It is so easy to focus on the go, this fixes that, I need this supplement to solve my problem, and this protocol is the exact solution I need. You can end up with so many things, and this can become part of that overriding process where it's always the next thing outside of yourself is going to solve all your problems. But if you can just find that one practice that builds your connection to self, that helps you achieve the benefit that you're looking for in a fulfilling way, that is life-changing. And that one practice can be as simple as a cup of herbal tea. I always tell people you can make anything complicated. You can make something so overwhelming, so confusing, and so in the nitty-gritty, or you can make it simple. And which thing do you think breeds the most consistency? It's the simplicity. And herbal tea is arguably the most simple and easy to apply practice that takes everything that we've talked about, the science-backed physiology shifts, the deep body benefits, with the body-mind connection, the ritual, and the stillness. And with all of that in mind, I have some very intentional blends that I have crafted over the years. And 2 of them are specifically designed for stillness, for building the mind-body connection. Because it's something that is so needed in our modern day world. And it's something that I have so needed within my own personal life as well. My Just Chill and Smile tea blend is for when you need like an herbal hug. It's full of uplifting herbs that help to nourish the nervous system and really just like reset your day and your mood. And then I also have my Body Mind tea blend. I originally designed this for a local business, and I'm officially opening it up to the public because it has become one of my absolute favorite blends. It is unmatched in its ability to tap you so deep within yourself. I designed it to be a pre-meditation blend, but you can use it whenever you need that like deeper connection, that deeper stillness within your days. So if either of those blends feel like they're what you need in your life, they're both available on thehealthhabit.net/shop. Again, that's thehealthhabit.net/shop. And if you have a tea that's been hiding in the back of your cupboard, I invite you to grab it tonight. Any tea will do. Any practice, really. If there's like a practice, something that's been coming to your mind, maybe it's doodling in the notebook you never touch, or finally painting the canvas you have stuffed in the back of your walk-in closet. Maybe it's just doing a yoga flow, like without watching a video, just unstructured in your pajamas tonight. Find your one thing, that one thing that can bring you a little bit of stillness, and just lean into it and just enjoy it. And if you have no idea what a practice like this would look or feel like, and you're local to the Rochester, New York area, I actually teach a donation-based yoga class every Sunday morning that really is focused on this, because building connection to self is, like I said, a not so secret intention of the Health Habit. So if you're interested, you can learn more at thehealthhabit.net/yoga. Well, I hope that this conversation has given you the invitation you need to lean into a little more slowness, a little more quiet stillness, and just make some extra downtime for yourself. And I'll see you all next week. Same time, same place. Bye, my friends.